brothers and sisters. I hope you're well. The leading online entertainment platforms are gripped with intense anxiety and anguish, not as a result of any horror piece of art, but as a consequence of their own actions. The definition of fears appears to have evolved over the past year. Previously, fear was largely linked with little kids being terrified of walking alone down the street, but now it is associated with big grown-ups who are the owners of large enterprises and corporations, being afraid of doing anything that will irritate the people behind them. Netflix, the leading OTT streaming platform, is under fire for removing almost 32 films that were based on Palestine and were mostly based on the trauma, resistance, family, and life the Palestinians faced.
Yeah, the fear is primarily motivated by these Edomites being revealed for what they are, which are the devil. So they're taking extreme measures to try to silence anyone who dares basically speak the truth against them. So Netflix, 32 films, all involving the Palestinians. They removed them all because, you're not allowed to feel sympathy for the victims. Because according to the devil, they're the victims. Whoever they say the victims are, they're the victims. So they want to convince you that they're the victims. So this war that they're initiating isn't working out in their favor. So they're trying to gain sympathy in some way, shape, or form. So now anybody that there stands or symbolizes that they stand or for the Palestinians, or they want to stop the war, is being deemed as either hate speech or anti-Semitic.
Lobby. The UK Big Brother, in its recent episode, edited and removed the picture of a watermelon because some viewers were not comfortable with the sign. To those who don't know, the watermelon picture is often used by pro-Palestinians to show their support for the Palestinians, and hence even a watermelon is viewed as a sign of anti-Semitic by Israelis. And now, following the decision made by the owners of the reality show, each and every item will be thoroughly scrutinized by management to ensure that there are no such images, pins, or signs in them that may cause pro-Israelis to suffer from insomnia. It's hilarious, though, that a watermelon is giving nightmares to the oppressive regime, or the films that show nothing but the truth are making the occupation sweat and become restless. In order to calm themselves down, they have to either threaten these big corporations or bribe them with money and power, and these actions depict how engulfed in fear they are about the truth. The young Palestinian girl
insomnia. Giving all praises to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem HaRachakodash, saying double honors to our apostles and elders here at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Lord's hopefully elect. Yeah, man, so now watermelons are considered anti-Semitic. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that just downright hilarious, laughable? This is how much of the truth that they are afraid of. Just anybody, just people speaking out against the truth, people speaking out against them, brings dread and terror upon them, because these Edomites, for certainty, have always operated in the dark, have always operated in secrecy. And for years, for hundreds of years, they've had success in gaining advantage or gaining the favor from people of the world by deceit, and it's always been by deception. But once the truth of the matter comes out, then their strength weakens, because their strength is secrecy. So you reveal the light, you shed the light on it, they lose their power. So they convinced the world for hundreds of years that, they were always victims of oppression and victims of hate, and that they need support, and that they always need support. But now people are really seeing who really is the oppressor, the devil, for who he is. And they're losing grip and control of the narrative, because you can't convince people anymore that you're the victims. So any sign of truth being revealed, they look at it as hate. And the reason they see it as hate is because it's just the truth being revealed, that they are the devil, and they don't want to be seen or exposed as the devil So they have to control the narrative. So people using watermelons as a symbol of stop the genocide, they will label, they said, oh, that's hate speech. So you see, this man he's lost. He's at the end. He can't bounce back from this, okay? Because he refuses to cease fire. He's not going to cease fire. He's not going to put his sword down. They've come so close to try to expand and to try to steal. They feel that if they have to stop, then guess what? They're going to have to plan another. They're going to have to set up something else for justification for attacking again. So they're not going to let this opportunity go to waste, especially what, allegedly happened in October. But it's taking a toll on them, and they're losing on the economy level, which I'm gonna show you that they're suffering bad. People are leaving that so-called state, and they're just falling, and all they have to do is put down the sword, but they're not gonna do it. So they're losing control there, and they're also losing control of the narrative. And what this is gonna lead to is the famine of the word, and it's gonna lead to them saying that anybody who calls himself an Israelite will be considered anti-Semitic. Job 18:11, terrors shall make him afraid on every side and shall drive him to his feet. Yeah, man, and that terrors are making him afraid on every side, terrors of the truth being revealed. This video explains why I'm seeing ads for Netflix all of a sudden. It's because, as you can read the comments, people are boycotting. So they're losing hundreds of thousands of subscribers from Netflix. And I said, that's why I'm getting all these ads for Netflix all of a sudden, because they're trying to respond, because they're losing money. Just like when you see ads for Pizza Hut, all those ads, if you wonder why you're getting so many ads for certain things, probably look them up. Chances are they're supporting Israel, and they're getting boycotted, and they're losing money. I'll cover the video on that, because the question posed is asked, well, wait a minute, what happened to the Lord will bless those that bless you and curse those that curse you? These American corporations have taken the time to give you free pizza. McDonald's gave you free food. And when people boycotted it, now all of a sudden they're losing money and you're losing money. But wait a minute, if you're the Lord's people, what happened to the Lord will bless those that bless you? This is hilarious, man. The Lord is bringing these devils down to their knees. So now they have to panic, and they're buying companies off. They're buying these people off to try to say, look, they told Netflix, look, you got to get rid of these films because they show sympathy for the Palestinians. And you're not allowed to show sympathy for them. You can only show sympathy for us. So what are people doing? They're saying, look, we're done with Netflix, right? And now they're losing money. And then people who go on TV show now, just having a watermelon, they're saying, you got to edit that out. That's making us lose sleep. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, man. He's always been in fear of being exposed. That's his nature. And that's why the Lord said, no more will this man be able to hide. Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not. So no more hiding, which is what they want to do. 2 Maccabees 6. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of Yahweh, and to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympius, and that in Gerizim of Jupiter, the defender of strangers, as they did desire that dwelt in the place. The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people, for the temple was filled with riot and revelling by the Gentiles, who dallied with harlots and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places, and besides that brought in things that were not lawful. The altar also was filled with profane things which the law forbiddeth. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So when we were conquered by the Greeks, it was not allowed for us to even call ourselves Jews. And we know that due to the prophecy of the famine of the word in Amos 8:11, says that the time's going to come where we're not going to be, the truth will be a famine. It'll be a famine of hearing the truth. We also understand the prophecy of the insurrection of the believers, that the Lord is going to deliver and protect his elect from an attack, and a militia attack, an insurrection towards his believers because of the powers that be. And we already know that they're going to use the rhetoric of anti-Semitism as an excuse to silence anything, to silence the truth. And even Donald Trump said that one of the first things he's going to address to prevent from happening again is what happened in 2017. What he was referring to was that account that apparently happened where the dude, whoever did it, shooting or whatever it was, happened to so-called be an Israelite. So the plan to stop us from teaching the truth, which is their greatest threat, is going to come by mischief, is going to come by false lies and fake laws that's going to pass to try to silence us. So what they're going to do is label us as violent, hostile, volatile. So what they're going to do, most likely, probably set up another puppet to take the fall, and they're going to somehow link him back to the Israelites, some way, shape, or form. Oh, we went to his Facebook and couldn't find out he's an Israelite. Oh, we searched his house, and guess what he got? He got pictures of Hitler and all this other stuff. Then that's when Trump, if he gets in office, whoever it is going to say, oh, we got a bunch of bad people on our hands, people. They're known as the Israelites. And, they're just flat out racist. And if anybody who calls himself an Israelite is going to be a crime. If you call yourself an Israelite, you don't have to, you can call yourself, you can say you're from the tribe of Judah. You can say you're from Asher. You can say you're from Ephraim. They're going to say, oh, that's hate speech. Because if you call yourself the true Israelites, then it exposes the light on, okay, well, who are those people? And they're just going to say, oh, we'll just do what we do best, right? We'll just make it illegal to call yourself an Israelite, or make yourself illegal to call yourself a Jew. But guess what? In the scriptures, it already happened, right? So it happened before, it can most definitely happen again. And we know what they're going to do to try to label us as violent people. They're just going to use their trump card and just use the Israelis to say, we got to protect these people, because that's who's calling the shots anyway. Okay, the people who calling the shots is Amalek. Amalek runs America, and even the average Edomite knows that. So let's take a look here.
Israel's war on Gaza has turned the once highly regarded Israeli economy upside down. Almost a year into the war on Gaza, Israel's economy is facing its steepest decline in years. With two active fronts, military spending is swelling, borrowing is skyrocketing, and revenues are drying up. International trust in the economy is also dwindling.
And the impact on some sectors is very grave. If we talk about tourism was basically devastated. Construction was hurt. There is a boycott.
Agriculture, hospitality, tech, and tourism are also casualties. Some 200,000 Palestinians.
Tourism. Look, you can kiss tourism goodbye. Period. Because the Lord is revealing you devils for who you are. And that's why the scripture says these shall. And just like the comments are saying, oh, don't worry, the Americans, taxpayer is going to end up bailing them out, which is going to end up being the case. You already know, because Amalek runs this place. Amalek has control of this place, but that's why it says these countries who were once in the same bed with you are going to turn and hate you because of what you're doing. So go ahead and use the American taxpayer to fund this war, which really the whole world wants you to stop. And you're going to try to use America to pay, and since America's going to agree, because they're just controlled as well, that's going to make the other countries want to hate you and eventually turn their arms at you, which is prophetic. Revelation 17:16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. The whore is Babylon the Great, which is America. The 10 horns is the foundation of NATO, and NATO was originally started with 10 nations, but now it's a number of nations. I forget the number. And when they're going to hate the whore, that means they're going to eventually turn their weapons towards this place. And primarily, one of the reasons is going to be because she's funding a war and doing it all out of hate. So everybody's going to end up pointing their missiles at this place. And as the scripture says, the least of the flock of the Edomites shall draw them out. It's talking about Amalek. So yeah, I mean, if they said if watermelons are now anti-Semitic, it's only a matter of time before simply calling yourself an Israelite will be too. Shalom.